Brighton and Hove, a seaside city in the county of East Sussex. A place where archaeological settlements date back to the Roman and Anglo-Saxon periods. The ancient settlement of Brighthelmstone was documented in the Domesday Book in 1086. Brighton later developed as a fashionable seaside resort in the Georgian era, with patronages such as the Prince Regent, later George IV, spending much of his time in the town and who also constructed the Royal Pavilion. Brighton's location has made it a popular destination for tourists and renowned for its diverse communities, leading to its recognition as the unofficial gay capital of the UK. Brighton and Hove is also well known for its annual event held and organised by Brighton Pride. Pride is there to promote equality and diversity, with an aim to educate and eliminate discrimination against the lesbian, gay, bisexual and transgender community. Pride is a major event in the UK's annual calendar, and its summer festival held in the first week of August. Pride attracts hundreds of thousands of people to the city over the Pride weekend, across the Pride Parade, Preston Park Festival, and St James Street Party. And this year celebrates 50 years since Pride started.
Brighton Pride 2019, I have to say, was pretty epic. The theme this year was Generations of Love, and whether it was the main Pride Parade, which we at the Rainbow Hub were hugely thrilled and proud to walk in and be a part of, or the party in the park at Preston Park, which culminated in Kiley, or the all-day street party, which took over all of Kent Town here on the Sunday. It was a huge festival. Last year, we know there were a few, shall we say, logistical issues. This year it ran brilliantly. It was the biggest festival yet, and next year we're all hugely excited to see what they can pull off next time.
I think it's fantastic that we're celebrating 50 years of Pride and the way that services are developing to meet that need within the community. And we as a service are embracing that and looking to develop the service any way we can to welcome people from that community to get the support and help that they need.
50 years of Pride means an awful lot to us here at Lunch Positive, and for those of us who are from LGBT communities. Many of our members are actually older, and many people with HIV, over half of the population of people with HIV are over 50 years old. So many will remember the inequalities that they would have experienced when they were younger, and the advances that have been made since Pride was first started. The equalities that we all feel now mean so much more to us, but there's still a long way to go. And for those of us with HIV, we know that HIV stigma is still a very big issue, and that the Pride movement is supporting that and diminishing that within the community.
Brighton and Hove Pride began with a gay demonstration in Brighton in October 1972 by the Sussex Gay Liberation Front, SGLF. And a full Pride march started in July 1973. Pride didn't return until 1991 with the Brighton area actions against Section 28, which brought thousands to the streets. But in its 50th year, where did Pride start?
As this is 2019, that's the 50th anniversary of the Stonewall riots. I suppose marked the a big starting point of gay people's liberation, I suppose. From that, happened in New York, led to the formation of gay liberation in various countries, and especially in this country it led to the Pride, and then gradual sort of building up the self-confidence in the LGBT community. They wouldn't sort of be ashamed of who they were, and then that progresses to lobbying for political reforms. There was Stonewall was founded, and other organisations, GLF. It was pushing for changes in society's attitudes, and it's been sort of quite a long sort of march, I think, really, if I want to put it like that. From my point of view, never would have dreamed that there would be things like a civil partnership or marriage where our relationships would be sort of legalised in law. So it's all about, obviously having our relationships recognised, and there's all the legalities that go with it, which makes it easier, for coping with, when something happens, when perhaps one partner dies, and all the inheritance issues. It's easier to adopt children, and perhaps the family structures, as family relationships, are perhaps more accepted, like two women, two men can have children, and it's not seen as sort of something, really quite strange. So it's sort of taken a while for acceptance, and how we sort of we can just live our lives without being sort of thinking as normal people. It's just we can do all we are sort of nothing that much different. We just sort of it's just the people we love are sort of same sex.
Pride is expanding, and now the LGBTQ plus community has seen this festival expand to other areas of Sussex, sending its message of inclusivity, diversity and non-discrimination to more rural regions. Another area that has been known for its art and cosmopolitan ideals is the East Sussex seaside resort of Hastings. Hastings, known for its fishing, tourism, and its ancient old town, and 1066. This town in the last few years has also started its own Pride Festival. And although it's not as big as the Brighton event, the local LGBTQ plus community has seen it grow enormously in the last few years.
Hi, so we're here in Hastings for Pride. I think it's the third full year we've been running, and it's such a wonderful day. And this, I think, is one of the best Pride events in the country. Still got a lot of energy. It's still a protest, and we're having a fantastic time.
Hi everyone, you know who I am, Sandra Martin from the Gogglebox days. Well, I'm here in Hastings having a lovely time.
Hi, I'm Corrie Burns, and I just want to say how great Pride is, right? I follow it every year in Hastings, and it's just wonderful. So come on everybody, come on down, right? And my name is Corrie Burns, and you might remember me from X Factor. Bye!
We're here today with our tombola, and we're very proud to be supporting Hastings Pride.
Eastbourne, a Victorian town known for its senior tourism and pebble beaches, is probably the last place you'd expect to see a Pride festival taking place. But now this town, with a younger population, is catching up with the metropolitan city of Brighton and Hove, and is now in its third year.
Well, recently we've had Eastbourne Pride, which was I think it was the second year. The first one was called Mardi Gras, but these succeeding ones have been called Eastbourne Pride. They're just held in Prince's Park, and very, very, very good attendance, very nice atmosphere. It's not totally different, obviously, from Brighton Pride, with all the hundreds of thousands of people. But this is, it sort of raises awareness of the LGBT community in Eastbourne. That there are people LGBT people here, because Eastbourne has got that reputation as rather a staid place, hasn't it? I know it's changing now. You can just, when you walk about, you can realise how it is. It's sort of by the shops and the cafes, restaurants. It's sort of changing more for younger demographics moving in, but it does have that reputation as a retirement place, doesn't it? And then nothing much happens. But it's just nice. It sort of brings that, that we're here, as it were. So, and perhaps you don't always have to go to Brighton, for Pride.
My name's Betty Gallagher. I am a trade unionist, and I decided I need to wake Eastbourne up. I've been coming down here with the trade union, did all my education, which empowered me and gave me the commitment to look after LGBT. I was chair of the regional and national committees, so I decided Pride in Eastbourne. But we had a little hiccup with the council, and I had to call it Mardi Gras. And once they saw how successful we were, this year it's Gay Pride. Proud to be out, proud to actually live the way people want to live, and that's what it's all about. Giving people the opportunity to be free and break down barriers. That's exactly what we're doing, is trying to break down homophobic barriers for the future. And today is just the start of something that we're doing, and we will continue to do, and it will get bigger and better each year.
But hey, don't miss it, and you'll be missing out. You gotta be there. Show some love. That's what it's all about, love. Freedom of expression, you know what I mean? Just be there.
I'm Steve Cox, Chairman for Eastbourne Bonfire Society, rekindled in 2001 by a retired school teacher from Erith. Came down to live in Eastbourne, saw part of the history of Eastbourne, where in its heyday it had something like about 7 bonfire societies. We're carrying on the tradition of East Sussex and the bonfire societies. You've probably obviously heard of Lewis, which is well renowned worldwide. If you try and book a hotel in Lewis, you have to book something like about 7 years in advance. It's that popular. We have something in the region of 200 members, some of them in pushchairs, and some of the older ones that reaching 80 years of age, and some are approaching a bit older than that. We were here last year supporting Pride for the first year. We were very much instrumental in the programming of it and the setting up of it. It's now progressed, and hopefully it'll go on for many years to come.
East Sussex has a large setup of organisers and community events, with everything from help and advice to social events for the LGBTQ+ community, including even funding for people wishing to start their own community organisations. If you have problems, need help or advice, or you would like to participate in any of the activities or organisations shown in this programme, full contact information will appear at the end of this video.
We're the Rainbow Hub, and we are on St James's Street in the centre of Brighton. We're just about to celebrate our first anniversary. We were set up about a year or so ago because Brighton research showed us needed a central point where people with LGBT+ queries could go. We're open 6 days a week, and so far we've helped more than 1,000 people in Brighton with any number of queries. Some of those are quite simple and quite fun, such as I'm in town for the weekend, where can I get a good drink, where can I dance? Others of them are clearly much more serious. People have come in saying that they came out to their family last night. They've been thrown out of home and they've nowhere to sleep. We help people like that. Whether it's alcohol issues, drug issues, domestic violence issues, any number of things, the Rainbow Hub is a central place where Brightonians and others can come for us to listen to their stories and then signpost them on to other organisations. We're very much involved in Pride, and this year we were the central point for handing out wristbands and tickets to the Kemp Town village. Over 1,500 people came through the doors in about a week to collect their wristbands, and we were very proud to hang on our wall one of the original Paramount rainbow flags celebrating Pride from 40 odd years ago.
Hello, my name's Gary Smith. I'm the LGBT worker within the Pavilion's drug service. So I work within that community and link in with all the other LGBT services within the Brighton area. So working with people holistically to ensure that their support needs are met. I work for the Pavilion's drug and alcohol service, which is based in Brighton, so it's the main drug and alcohol service for the area. And if people want to access any information, advice or support, all you need to do is contact the service, which is in Richmond House, Richmond Road, Brighton, and the number is Brighton 01273 731 900, or access information on the website.
This is the Hastings and Rother Rainbow Alliance. It was founded in 2003. It was established in my front room with my late partner. We got a group of local gay people together, gay and lesbian, to set up an organisation to develop equalities and rights of LGBT people, and also to look at social life and social aspects. And the Rainbow Alliance has been founded since then, set up as a charity. We've fundraised for it. We've had many events.
Hi, I'm Mary. I'm the Secretary of the Rainbow Alliance, which we called, rather than Hastings and Rother Rainbow Alliance, to make it flip off the tongue a bit better. What we do is raise awareness of issues at various partnership groups, like with the council and health authorities and the police. And then we run a whole range of social groups, like afternoon tea, lunch groups, bridge groups, walking groups, the supper club, a whole range of things, and that sort of helps reduce social isolation. And a lot of people who are new to the area or have just been bereaved say it's a real lifeline for them to be able to have these groups to go to where they feel safe and they can socialise.
Hi, I'm Gary and I'm from the Hastings and Rother Rainbow Alliance, and one of my roles is running the co-facilitating the trans group, and this is a group that we run for people who define in all different ways in Hastings and Rother, and we're currently doing some work with the Clare project for a year around trans and non-binary people, and we're kind of looking to encourage some more people to kind of come along to this group. We've got a year's worth of funding starting from this September. We're going to have facilitated workshops, and we're looking to do kind of moving on from just general support to providing some sort of practical support and advice for people. And Luke is looking to engage some of our younger people.
Yep, so we're just trying to find a bit more of a younger set of people who would like some support or just want to socialise. It can be, you can be trans, non-binary questioning, or, just querying who you are. And the groups will run, as Gary said, for the year. It'll be every second Wednesday of the month. And there's information all around about that one, and it's called TMB Hastings.
And the Rainbow Alliance generally is looking to kind of, we're basically a peer support group organisation, so we encourage and support people to run different groups. So we've got, I think you've probably already been told, we've got a variety of groups, from bridge club, supper club, walking clubs, social get-togethers, and what we're trying to do is to also look at setting up a young people's mental health group, a younger people's group, do some stuff around sexual health and that sort of thing. So, but anything that people are interested in, if you want to run a group and you want some support to do so, then come to us and talk to us, and we can help you with looking at funding, insurance, finding venues and advertising.
So my name is Grace Cummings. I'm the Trans Engagement and Development Worker for the Clare Project in Brighton. So the Clare Project is a trans support service that's been going since 1990 in Brighton and Hove, and it started by a group of trans women meeting at the back of a Hove hair salon that they were all using, and beyond then we've been running a weekly drop-in for nearly 30 years. So we have our Tuesday drop-in that we run every Tuesday in Brighton, and that's open to anyone, no questions asked. You can simply turn up, and that's in the drop-in format. And then every third Thursday in Brighton we also run T&B, which is a trans, non-binary and intersex group for the community to talk about subjects concerning health and well-being. We're really lucky that in the next couple of weeks we're launching T&B in Hastings as well, through LGBT consortium funding, which is really exciting. So we're teaming up with Hastings and Rainbow Alliance to kind of get that going. We see a lot of people like throughout the course of every single week. We have contact with over 150 people a month, and that includes the whole intersections of the trans community, inclusive of non-binary, intersex people, trans people of colour, people involved with sex work. So we see some of the most marginalised and underrepresented groups from our community. Beyond that, we kind of have foresight to kind of offer developments to provide more intersectional space for our community, and we kind of do more outreach to find out more about what the community wants to see come from us as one of the longest standing trans groups in the country. But yeah, like, people are always welcome to get in touch with us, whether they're an ally or from the community themselves, whether they're gender questioning or exploring, or whether they're looking for training or consultancy about being more trans inclusive, and they can always get in touch with us.
My name's Gary Pargeter and I'm from Lunch Positive, the weekly HIV lunch club. We've just celebrated our 10th anniversary here at Dorset Gardens Methodist Church, where every Friday we bring people with HIV together to share a healthy meal, spend social time together and find peer support. Everything we do is provided by volunteers, and we have a team of between 15 and 20 people here every Friday to deliver the service. People can join the service by dropping in any Friday from midday, or by looking at our website, which is www.lunchpositive.org.
The Terence Higgins Trust is an important resource, particularly for sexual health, including HIV medication. HIV medication reduces a person's viral load to undetectable levels. At this stage, the condition is no longer transmissible, so you can't pass it on.
So my name's the Reverend Martin Poole. I'm the Vicar of St Luke's, Prestonville in Brighton, and I've been involved with the Pride Parade for the last 4 years. We felt that it was important for us as a church to let people know that we weren't anti-homosexual, because I think the general impression is that churches are not very welcoming to homosexual people, and we're trying very hard to be as inclusive as we possibly can be, and walking in the Pride Parade is part of that statement, if you like, part of that message I'm keen to get out, that all are welcome to our church in particular, but there are many other churches in Brighton where gay people are welcome, and particularly if people have felt in the past that they've been excluded or they've been hurt by church, it's important that we make steps to help sort that out. St Luke's Prestonville is part of the Inclusive Church Network, which is a national network of churches that have signed up to a statement of inclusivity, if you like. It's not about being exclusively for gay people. It's about being welcoming for all, and that includes ethnic minorities, all different genders, and all understandings. And we do have people within our congregation who don't necessarily agree with my stance on things like sexuality, but they're still welcome because we want to be inclusive of all those different opinions. We understand that church is a place where there ought to be a real diversity of opinion, because we're united just by our faith in Jesus Christ, and all the other things in a way are peripheral to that. St Luke's began the journey towards this message of inclusivity a number of years ago, when we began a series of conversations and discussions about our thoughts around the Bible and what it says about sexuality, and we invited some people who are specialists in this field to come and have open discussions in a public forum with us to help us to understand what the issues were. And ultimately for church, it's an understanding of the key themes of the Bible, which for me are about inclusivity and love and welcome. And there are some small pieces that seem to suggest that certain groups are excluded from that. I would argue that they're not necessarily that and actually they are not. They're counter to the general direction of Scripture, and particularly of the message of Jesus, which was to sit with all of those, particularly those on the margins of society. One of the great things about walking in the Pride Parade is that we're with other Christians. So there's now a relatively large group of us, kind of 40 or 50 people who walked in this year's parade from different churches and different understandings. And the affirmation that we get from people as we go along the Pride route, people understanding that this is an unusual thing to see Christians involved in a parade like that, and feeling that it sends them a message that the church is open and welcoming, and it's really important for us that everybody understands that.
We are Dykes on Bikes. We've ridden down on our motorcycles today to support this amazing Pride event. Jay here is our oldest member. She's been riding a bike for over 50 years. We try to support local charities, and we're also supporting blood bikers this year, hopefully raising lots of money for them. We try and support all the charities. As a group, we've been going for 40 years. We've got 22 chapters all over the world. We're a range of girls who love motorcycles, hence the name, Dykes on Bikes. It says it all, kind of. We ride all sorts of machines, 125, scooters, Harleys, easy riders, trikes. She's got a sexy thumping machine here today. So we'd love people to come and join us, raise some money, have some fun, create a boom and see what it feels like to ride in a pack of sisters with that thundering up and down the great British countryside. So we'd love your support here today and always, and we are here to support your local community, and we're more than welcome to come along and lead parades all over the British countryside. It's great to be here. Thanks for having Dykes on Bikes. Find us on social media, Twitter, website, Instagram. We'd love you to come ride with us. We have lots of fun, not just social meets and party days out, but all sorts of events. So do find us and come and join us. Thank you for having us.
Hello, my name's Derek, and one of the things I do, I facilitate a group called Eastbourne Rainbow, which is a social group for LGBT people who are over 50 in Eastbourne and the surrounding areas. We're part of Age Concern, and then we meet there on a regular basis. There are 2 meetings a month. The first meeting is a coffee morning, that's at the beginning of the month, and at the end of the month there's an afternoon meeting. The coffee morning lasts an hour, and it's a chit chat and just have a cup of tea or coffee and just gossiping about what they've been doing and catching up with people's news. But the afternoon meeting is the main one. It enables people to socialise more. The space is a bit easier, exchanging information. Perhaps there's some peer support on an informal basis. Somebody might have experienced something and they'll be able to sort of help another person in the group who's going through the same thing. Also at the group, we let people know about events that are happening locally, cinemas, theatres, or other things that they might not be aware of. And then through that we organise events, going to the theatre, cinema, perhaps trips out, for example, to Rye. It's socialising. It's particularly useful for people perhaps who've come to Eastbourne. Perhaps you've had people come from Spain and then they come back to Eastbourne, or changing personal circumstances in their life, and then they're able to come along and meet up with people and increase their social circle and network and get to know and share their interests with other people. Now we have fundraised for other organisations. One we did 2 years ago, it was in 2017. That was to mark the 50th anniversary of the partial decriminalisation of homosexuality. So we did an event basically, and we raised about £150 for Sussex Beacon, which is quite a nice sum to have done. We also have raised money for 4-Age Concern. Now, there's another strand to the group. We sort of involved in outside agencies. We have done in the past when the councils had some money. We did seminars and forums that were about older LGBT people's concerns, particularly in care home, domiciliary care environment. Some people might be a bit nervous if they had to go into a care home about how they would be treated. Because they're obviously in the minority, and would there be luck from the residents and the staff? So we did that to make managers and stuff aware of those concerns. And also, we've actually been invited to care homes to have a word with the staff to raise these issues and ask for their experiences, how they would deal with those situations. So it's another thing we do. And also, I on a committee that's the Inclusion Advisory Group, which again addresses equalities issues, and also there's a Sussex Police Group, but which one member of the group goes to. This year we've become involved in an intergenerational project with East Sussex Children's Services, in which the younger LGBT people are researching LGBT history in East Sussex. One of the strands of that we've been involved in is we'd be sort of, the younger people would interview older people. So we would sort of have a chat about our lives, and then they would ask about our lives, and then we would ask about their lives to see the difference, from 50 odd years ago to what they're experiencing now. And that was broadcast on Sussex Radio, which was quite a very interesting project to be involved in.
Another organisation to remember is Switchboard. Switchboard is the oldest LGBTQ plus helpline in the UK and can assist with any problems that you may have.
Hi, my name is Andrew Ramage. I'm the pastor of MCC Brighton, and for a little under a year now we've been running a street church project here in Hastings, and it kind of started after we attended Hastings Pride last year and met the mayor. It's been running for a while now, and we get 20 to 40 people every Friday come and see us, and this has led to them asking if we'll ever do a worship service here. So this Tuesday, the 27th at 4:30, we're launching our first ever Hastings worship service. We're a fully inclusive church. We welcome absolutely everybody through our door. Anyone that walks in is meant to be there. So if you fancy a church with a difference, come along and see what we're about. So currently in Hastings we do Tuesday evenings at the Quakers Meeting House on South Terrace, where we're doing a completely different style of worship. Fridays we do a street church for the homeless and for those who are on low wages or invulnerably housed, which is going really, really well. We've been doing that for just short of a year now. In Brighton we've been doing street church for 2 years. That's at the Old Steen every Wednesday at 4 o'clock, where we provide food, tea, coffee, biscuits and some general socialising with all the street community there. And we've also launched our Sunday service in the Level in Brighton, so we're right out in the heart of the homeless community. And this week we've joined up with the Co-op as food partners to provide food after every service. So it's on the up, which is just as well with the increasing numbers of homeless, both Brighton and Hastings. And we're hopefully stepping in and meeting a real desperate need.
So the company is called Totally Gay Weddings, and we are basically an online shop that we are hoping to promote to the LGBTQ plus community, where we do things like decor, cards, gifts, novelties. And from there we're hoping to expand and go on to bigger things like wedding planning, and also various different departments and things within this business. So I'm hoping it comes together and works.
We're from the National Education Union, which is it's actually Europe's largest education union, so it's for all educators, not just teachers. We're from the Hastings branch, though, specifically, and Shawnee's going to tell you a little bit about our message for today that we've been spreading.
So basically, we just want to make sure that everyone has a platform to stand on in school, whether, straight, gay, lesbian, bisexual, transgender, anything. We just want everyone to be able to work together and that we can promote each other's rights and all be equal in a school, and that children are growing up in a place, in a safe environment that we're not, judging, and that's what the union's trying to promote, and we're happy to be part of it. So, yeah.
Age UK East Sussex are here at Hastings Pride today for its third year. Age UK East Sussex has been celebrating its 70th anniversary. We're very proud to support Hastings Pride, including our LGBT football team in the local areas, which can be found upon our website. We also have a lot of other services. We're here today with our tombola, and we're very proud to be supporting Hastings Pride.